everybody. Hello, thanks, and welcome to Cinco de Taco on a Taco Tuesday. I'm ready. Deadpool's ready. Are you ready? We have tonight Nexus Cats versus Illidancing Queens in the first of two matches on this channel tonight. Let's see how many times I can say tonight. This is a Division East game. This is the second week of NGS Season 9. Illidancing Queens, not gonna lie, my favorite team name in the season. The map of choice is Illidancing Queens is Towers of Doom, picked by Illidancing Queens. First pick goes to Nexus Cats. We are going into the draft. Here we go. The real question tonight, though, coming in against Illidancing Queens, for the question for the Nexus Cats is, are they prepared? Do they know what the hatred of 10,000 years feels like? They do ban the large minion first. Jimmy Rayner banned on behalf of Nexus Cats. Lots of sustained damage and poke, able to delay and alter for a long time with that Hyperion ult, if that's the way he went. Still waiting on Illidancing Queens. They ban out Garrosh. They don't want to deal with his CC and engage. He is a big punisher of out-of-position teammates. In between games of this match, I'll see if I can work up a small little Dancing Queens parody for Illidancing Queens. I'll see what I can do for y'all. Alright, second ban coming out of Nexus Cats is Joanna, the beefiest tank of all. Shoot, I played her last night. And I played her last night, and I don't play tank very well, and I did alright. Joanna, probably the strongest tank in the game right now. This stream, I wish it was brought to you by Taco Corp, but I was Taco before Taco Corp existed. It might be brought to you by the Dallas Cowboys website, but they might have bought that back as well. I don't know. Zool coming out as the ban for Illidancing Queens. Zool, another really strong hero right now. Very beefy. Lots of sustain, lots of damage. So first pick coming now to the Nexus Cats. Let's see how they play it cool going into this first game of the match. I suspect we'll see the tank first. No, we see the offlaner, Malthiel, the Bruiser, coming in for Nexus Cats. Malthiel is an unusual first pick, especially because he's more of a counter to the beefy heroes. Mal'Ganis and Anduin coming in for Illidancing Queens. Mal'Ganis gonna going into Malthiel, I wouldn't be surprised to see a dark conversion coming out of this Mal'Ganis, but again, that kind of comes down to the CC. Anduin, a big saving hero, especially if Malthiel throws out last rites. Anduin can pop his ult if he goes with the Sanctity ult, the Power Word, Holy Word. Someone help me out on that talent choice. Li Ming and Stukov coming out for Nexus Cats. Li Ming, big burst damage, long range artillery mage. She can get in close and deal heavy damage with Calamity as well. Looking to see long delays from Li Ming. Stukov in the tight corners of the objective for Towers of Doom, going to get a lot of effectiveness out of his silence. Varian being banned out from Illidancing Queens. We're still looking for a tank on Nexus Cats and another sustained damage dealer, probably. Hanzo ban. Hanzo can delay forever. Hanzo is probably the best delay on this map. Holy Word of Salvation. Thank you, Death Punisher. I appreciate you, bud. Let's see. we do see Leoric and Kel'Thuzad coming out. We were gonna need to see their offlaner and 2 heavy damage dealers. Kel'Thuzad gonna be burst damage mage with those timings, with the timing in the CC. Leoric gonna be in the offlane, heavy damage, and possibly a lot of damage suppression depending on how Leoric builds. Still looking for that tank and damage dealer from Nexus Cats. We get ETC and Zeratul. Zeratul making big plays in the upper divisions last week. Let's see what he does tonight. Zeratul going to be really sneaky and hard to predict, being able to blink over all these walls and through the bushes. Looking for a counter to come out of Illidancing Queens. I don't suspect it will be, but I hope it's Illidan. Greymane. Same, but not at all. That's a little disappointing in my heart, but that's about it. McGiblets, thank you for the follow. Good luck. I see that you are about to play right here. Mr. Stukov taking the time to come follow the stream. So this is going to be an interesting game. We have a lot of disrupt from Mal'Ganis and Kel'Thuzad, but the dive from ETC and Malthael, maybe to get past that, and Stukov to help with that engage. Look at the look at that team synergy. The icons for Nexus Cats, all the Mr. Bigglesworth Nexus Cat icon. And on Illidancing Queens, you have Cartoonbot Kerrigan on Born to Shine. She is the team captain, and all the little Zerglings as her teammates. Isn't that adorable? I need a drink. But no, that's absolutely fantastic. We are heading in now as we go through the loading screen. We have Zeratul, Li Ming, Stukov, ETC, and Malthael, played by Arthenu, the Doctor, McGiblets, Mark Zombie, and Turd Herder, respectively. And then Born to Shine on Anduin, D. Cherrywood on Mal'Ganis, Dax on Leoric, Yotaro on Greymane, and Sestrin on Kel'Thuzad. So again, I feel like Illidancing Queens is more disruptive. And especially if we see a light bomb out of Anduin instead of Salvation. But I can go either way with this matchup. Looks like someone's on a toaster. It might be me. I don't know. Oh, Mr. Turd Herder might be DCing. We may have to remake this lobby, but I don't know for sure. I will find out based off of whether or not he loads in. But the dive potential, yeah, we're going to go into a pause as soon as it starts. And I'm not able to talk to them, but clearly this is a loading error for Turd Herder. So looking at the teams, I feel like they look scary. Both teams look scary. Nexus Cats has here. Let's yeah, this is fine. This is fine. This is okay. Let's see if I can bring them up. There we go. That's what I need to see. So the Zeratul finishing, along with last rights from Malthael, has a lot of execute potential to get resets on Li Ming. Li Ming then going to have to carry the rest of the fight. If ETC can get in and get off a good mosh, or even just a clutch stage dive from an off lane, but based off of Malthael being the offlaner and having a Zeratul, I feel like ETC's gonna go mosh pit for those setups, especially on top of Stukov. All right, we are ready. I'm gonna keep going with what I'm saying though while we're finishing loading. I feel like Nexus Cats has the better blow up potential and can win a team fight as long as they execute it well, which sounds kind of obvious. You know, if you do the fight well, then of course you win. But if Mal'Ganis and Kel'Thuzad can disrupt the ETC and or the Stukov, then I think the fight immediately goes to Illidancing Queens with a decent chunk of room for error.
What are you waiting for?
We do see a W talent pick out of Kel'Thuzad. That's probably the most contested build, or the hero with the most deviations to a standard build. So W build on Kel'Thuzad. We do get Aether Walker out of Li Ming. That's not seen very often. We get a little skirmishing in the mid lane early on. A nice root coming out from the Kel'Thuzad, starting to get that quest. He's already got 3 on his Master of the Cold Dark quest. A great start for Kel'Thuzad, says Trent, getting it done. We get an attempt at a chain from Kel'Thuzad as Felclaws comes out from the Mal'Ganis. They're not going to land. They're just going to get some clear. They're going to hang out. They're going to get their experience, and they're probably going to go back into the mid lane. But no, we get a big stun from ETC onto Kel'Thuzad. Stukov going to finish him off. A big first blood coming out of the Nexus Cats. It's 1-0. Both cores at 40, as there have been no objectives yet. Nothing's been capped. Taking this opportunity to invade. Nexus Cats going in on the siege camp, the siege sapper camp of Illidancing Queens. Illidancing Queens falling behind early. But it's still a race to the level 4 talents. Moving on to the next camp is Nexus Cats. ETC trying to get the soak into a 1v3, but he doesn't have to do a whole lot. All he has to do is just be around when they die, and he'll pick up that experience. Mal'Ganis trying to invade and catch Nexus Cats out of position. It's not going to work. They have already capped the siege camp. That's true. The Stukov slaps do hit hard. Mal'Ganis looking to go in, just a lot of posturing. He catches the Li Ming with the Felclaws, and then he's going to try to sleep away as Kel'Thuzad gets some more roots out. He's at 7 stacks now at 2.5 minutes in. Greymane coming down to join the action. Malthael and Leoric getting some decent rotations in. Let's see if I can find the right button for that. That's not it. Leoric and Malthael. Oh, and there I go, missing another kill. Kel'Thuzad goes down to Li Ming. That's going to be a big exchange coming into this objective. Kel'Thuzad probably not going to be able to get back in time to stop this altar from being capped from Nexus Cats. Malthael and Leoric probably going to trade that top objective. So nothing to see up there, more than likely. McGiblets looking to grab this altar and rub his belly at the same time. And that is what we expect, a trade in altars plus the bottom altar going to Nexus Cats. Illidancing Queens down by 4 on their core. Looks like ETC trying to get a setup. Just chilling in the bush, ready to slide in. He does. He catches the Greymane, but doesn't get through to the Kel'Thuzad. He's going to get rooted by the Anduin. Silence not going to catch a whole lot. Thank you, JakeBot, for making sure I straighten up while watching this match. Mark Zombie on the ETC looking a little low. Stukov going to try to keep him up, and he'll be able to use his... all I know is Prog Rock. I forget what the talent's actually called for him to heal himself. It is Guitar Solo, rather. He is already back to full health. That's pretty quick. That's good. Illidancing Queens trying to get their siege camp. ETC gonna get in and disrupt. It's a 4v4 over the siege camp. Looks like it's going in favor of the Nexus Cats, however, as Kel'Thuzad gets really low, saved by Born to Shine. Now, we got a tank battle in the bush. No one really wanted to commit to anything other than the tanks. There goes the Rue onto the ETC. As soon as he's free, he slides through, stuns the Mal'Ganis, bumps him back. Mal'Ganis can't get out in time. Kill goes to Malthael, who rotated down. Double kill to Li Ming, catching the Kel'Thuzad and the Anduin. Anduin dying late there. It looked like it was a arcane orb catching him basically at max range to finish him off. we do have the next altar out. Big advantage to the Nexus Cats going into it. They'll probably be able to capture this no problem, but Zeratul working on the siege camp instead. Leoric coming down to start the channel. Finally, Zeratul getting off the siege camp. That's going to be big. Looks like Nexus Cats were trying to get that tower before the altar. I didn't realize they were pushing for it. That makes a lot of sense now why they wouldn't go for it yet to get that extra point of core damage. Leoric slowed in the silence by Stukov, taking a long time to get out, losing a lot of health. ETC in trouble. Mike checks everyone back. And face melt rather. A lot of dancing around by both teams now. Illidancing Queens, dancing their way around this altar, but they're not going to be able to get in on it. Malthiel finishing up the altar cap. They're going to try to get this fort back as soon as possible, as the bottom lane is the biggest point of contention. It has the most control over the map. Big fight at the enemy's death line. For Nexus Cats, they end up not able to get anything out of it. They're defending their fort just fine. That fort at about half health. Zeratul going back to do his camp while Anduin and friends try to push out. They really want this fort back before the next objective comes up. And Mal'Ganis at half health, not looking like he's in a real position to engage, especially as close to that tower as they are. Big orb coming out from Li Ming. Another one. Getting a lot of damage out onto Mal'Ganis and Greymane. We do see Triumvirate at level 4, so she'll be able to get resets on that orb more often than the rest of her abilities. But it does look like she is looking for a solid teleport build. Lots of clear going out, a lot of looking for an opportunity. A big mosh coming out from ETC onto Mal'Ganis, almost taking him out. Oh, Zeratul does finish him off. As the ETC mosh gets interrupted by a big chains from Kel'Thuzad, but it's not going to be enough. They do lose their tank. Both teams are level 10. We got Might of the Nerazine, massive shove, mosh pit, last rites, and wave of force out of the Nexus Cats, who are still trying to push in on this bottom lane, get those sappers in for a few extra points of core damage into the defense of Light Bomb, Carrion Swarm, Entomb, and Shadow Fisher, and who knows what from Greymane's. Who still is yet to pick his talent at level 11. Looks like it is a cursed bullet gonna go in for the kill early, try to get that front-loaded damage as Nexus Cats are trying to get both altars uncontested. Stukov is able to cap, however, Turd Herder on Malthiel getting interrupted by Dax. We get a big Entomb going out, catching one. ETC goes down. Malthiel finishing off the Greymane with the last rites. Zeratul getting big damage out on the Kel'Thuzad, basically melting the ice lich something. There's a joke there. Leoric trying to get out, Drain hoping off of Malthiel to stay alive despite the percentage damage coming out on him. It's gonna be enough. He gets out with 300 health. A big save on Leoric. As Nexus Cats is able to finish channeling the middle altar, get it captured, and steal the siege camp. 36-17 on Towers of Doom. Favor Nexus Cats. Illidancing Queens needs to get some map positioning, map control. Those are the words. In order to get back into this, they're down a talent tier and 2 levels, about to be 1, but they're just stuck in the corner down here in the bot lane. They're not able to get the soak up. Leoric's trying, but Malthiel, probably on a pale horse, is able to rotate faster and get the wave clear, and also rotate to team fights as needed. Trying to get some poke out on this fort to wear it down. A big mosh pit again on the Mal'Ganis, going to catch him out of position. ETC going to pay for it with his life though. Both tanks go down. No objective ready to pop though. If Kel'Thuzad needs to get a catch, one, so that he can get closer to his Master of the Cold Dark and gain almost double spell power, which will bring a lot of impact to those team fights, but also so that they can start getting more kills. We are going into the top half of the map with this next set of altars, 1 on each side, no neutral altars. Illidancing Queens still trying to push out. Looks like they are going to try to get this fort before the altars spawn as a last-ditch effort to at least stop the bleeding. Instead of, at most now, Nexus Cats can only get 8 tower shots out instead of 10. But here's looking to Illidancing Queens, looking for an opportunity to turn around. Looks like Malthael is going to be able to get that altar uncontested. So now Illidancing Queens just trying to get 4 shots off instead of taking 8. And they are going to let Born to Shine finish the channel. Anduin getting 4 altar shots out. They've got to be breathing a sigh of relief, having gotten this fort back and also having captured another altar. They're still in rough shape, but for another 10% of damage onto the core at least has to feel good. Now again, it's looking for an opportunity to engage and get the Kel'Thuzad a setup. Kel'Thuzad looking like he's ready to get picked off by this ETC though. ETC not going out. ETC watching, although ETC can't see much of anything right now, has no idea where anyone is except for the Leoric. Gets caught by the Mal'Ganis, slapped big roots from the Kel'Thuzad, but Leoric and Kel'Thuzad are going to go down. Leoric not even near the fight. Greymane goes out as well, picked off by the Zeratul. It was a good engage, but just couldn't follow it up, and Nexus Cats punishing them hard for getting their siege camp. Alright, Nexus Cats just now getting their level 16 talent selected. The bottom fort does go back to Nexus Cats once again. Illidancing Queens just staying on the back foot. And when you have all your weight on the back foot, it makes for decent pivoting on the dance floor, but it's not a good position to be in a game of strategy.
I have opened a tunnel near our core that leads to the battleground center. Use it well.
What?
The center tunnel is open for quick teleports to the middle of the map. Li Ming on as the doctor coming to get this middle altar. We see both of the top altars once again. They're going to go to their respective teams. Not going to be able to stop the Malthael channel. That's going to put Illidancing Queens at 3 left on their core. They have to play the rest of this game perfectly in order to stay in it. This big siege camp coming out for Nexus Cats. If they can walk these sappers all the way in, all the way down, all the way downtown across this line, they'll each do 1 damage to the core, and that will finish off the game. Looks like Illidancing Queens was trying to go for a boss play, but they do have to stop this sapper camp from getting in, and they were interrupted by Leoric, so they could not take the risk. They got to get there fast, though. That sapper camp pushing in, and they get bumped back by ETC really at all. They get stopped. Oh, they managed to stop the sapper camps just at the line. 1 goes down. Big light bulb coming out and a mosh pit. ETC going to pay for it, doing that mosh pit behind enemy lines. Mal'Ganis going to go down too. Stukov falls. It's a 2 for 2 so far, but all 3 sappers do get killed. Leoric going down. Still a team fight win for Nexus Cats. They're in position to go take the boss and win the game right now. Maybe. They don't have their healer. That's probably a bad call on my part. They may just take the sapper camp and try to finish it up, but Born to Shine scouting out. So is Dax. Dax undead, able to scout out in safety. Looks like the 3 members of Nexus Cats are moving up to the boss. Malthael does have it started. Anduin checking with Divine Star. Throws out a root. Not going to stop anything. They have to move in on this boss, but they don't know that they're doing it right now. That's going to be game. Nexus Cats, congratulations. We're going to game 2. That boss camp, they had the right idea. They knew they were poking on it, and I guess they just lost sight of it and couldn't go follow up and counter engage. That was the last opportunity they had to stay in the game. Big damage coming out from Li Ming, and as we see Greymane just crushing, just absolutely crushing the Li Ming absolutely crushing the Greymane in damage, and Kel'Thuzad unfortunately not able to get his stacks to bring out the big damage into the late game. It just didn't work out for Illidancing Queens. They had a good comp. They had a lot of blow-up potential. They just couldn't get it online. So, That's going to be game 2 Nexus Cats. And now we're waiting for the information on the next game, the second map. Once again, thank you so much for joining us on Cinco de Taco on a Taco Tuesday. Although in this channel, every day is Taco Tuesday. I didn't expect that game to be as one-sided as it was, and which is really unfortunate. It's hard to watch a game that there's not as much back and forth on, and it would have been nice to see Illidancing Queens even be able to get to the other side of the map, even to get out past their own fort. We are going to Infernal Shrines, map picked by Nexus Cats. I'm looking forward to seeing the team comps here. Lots of clear, and how both teams adjust to the play styles of the other. Infernal Shrines is a really fun map with a PvE based objective. The Punisher then marching down the lane and trying to push the structures, but also has a PvP component to it where the Punisher will target the enemy team. So you need decent wave clear for this objective, and you also need good defense, which I guess comes with the wave clear. But because of how centralized the objective is, you have opportunities for really big team fights. Thank you so much for the follow, Moby Beck. That I just now see, even though you did it a while ago, apparently. It just popped up for me. Illidancing Queens will have first pick because, because Illidancing Queens lost that game, they have priority to pick first pick or the map. They pick first pick, so Nexus Cats picks the map. I'm interested to see what they do with that first pick. Looks like we have all teams in, or all members of the teams into the lobby. And well, we at least have the accounts in the lobby, but apparently we don't have people at computers. But that's all right. Again, it's hard to. I wish I could fill this time for you, um, but as dominant as that game was, it's hard to really figure out what even information to give, because the engages, the moshes weren't even huge. Excuse me, the moshes weren't even huge. The mosh caught Mal'Ganis just out of position, which makes it huge, I guess. But you never got the 2-3 man moshes really. You just saw a Mal'Ganis pick, and then because Leoric was usually in the off lane trying to soak, you didn't have that other front line up there for a team fight, and so Illidancing Queens just kind of fell apart at that point. So now the Dancing Queens is trying to figure out how do they stop that hard engage. They either respect ban the ETC, they pick it first. All right, we are going into Infernal Shrines. All right, so like we said, first pick going to Illidancing Queens. Let's see what they do with it. You got to have a first pick in mind when you go for the first pick. Obviously, we go through the ban phase first. 2 bans to each team, then 5 picks total. 1 ban to each team, and then the last 5 picks. Garrosh being banned again. Interesting call on the Volaban slag at there. I mean, this is Infernal Shrines, not BOE, so I don't know that she's as important, but she does still have a lot of potential on the objective with that team fight potential. I feel like she's not high tier enough to warrant that first pick. Zool being banned by Infernal Shrines, a monster on a 3-lane map, especially with this group objective, this 40 kill objective. Zool, a very strong ban here in Infernal Shrines. Kael'thas, area mage, banned for Illidancing Queens. Lots of disrupt potential out of Kael'thas, a lot of blow up potential out of Kael'thas. Let's go Cats from Linehouse. We do have a Cats fan. Let me update the scoreboard as well. Joanna ban coming from Nexus Cats. Again, a really strong tank, worth a ban every game, pretty much. All right, what do we have? First pick coming out of Illidancing Queens. They picked first pick. They have to have a hero in mind for it. ETC, and that's kind of what I expected, was taking the ETC pick away. I was just saying, I don't know if I said it earlier, but I was just thinking if they don't take the ETC, I don't know what they would have won in first pick for in particular. ETC, a big steal for Illidancing Queen. Sylvanas, the Dark Lady, in her Sugar Plum outfit for Nexus Cats, along with Malfurion. Fire Druid Malfurion. Thank you for the follow, Linehouse. I appreciate it. Sylvanas huge on this map. When they get the when and if and when, whatever, something about getting the Punisher, Sylvanas can deactivate the buildings that the Punishers, that is one attacking the Punisher, and also the Punisher and her team are trying to attack, so that if they clip the enemy team, they don't start taking huge tower damage. Stukov and Tassadar picked up for Illidancing Queens. Tassadar recently reworked, is a very heavy damage mage. Stukov, as we saw with the ETC on Nexus Cats last game, big area control, lots of disrupt, and I think Stukov, the Stukov ETC combo is huge. And when you couple it with the wall from Tassadar, I think the 3 picks over here for Nexus Cats are going to be very disruptive. Leoric ban coming out from Nexus Cats, I guess that's a respect ban. Maybe they didn't like playing into the Leoric that much. Again, it's hard to tell with how that game went, but if Malthael thought that the Leoric matchup was rough, then getting rid of the Leoric would be obviously a smart choice. Deathwing coming out as a big ban for Illidancing Queens. Woo! We can do this together, guys. Deathwing coming out as a big ban from Illidancing Queens. Basically the same reason the Zool is banned, except that Deathwing has mobility instead of the sustain. He's got that large presence in a fight. He is bulky and hard to take down, depending on how the build is. There's the Vala. Vala and Blaze coming out for Nexus Cats. So Deathwing has a lot of area damage if you build him that way for this map, and having the global and the map presence is going to be a really big benefit from having a Deathwing here. Blaze coming out on Mark Zombie, so Blaze may be main tanking. However, we've seen a lot of offlane Blaze this season, and so we may be looking at another tank coming out from Turd Herder. We do need another frontliner either way. Sonya coming out to help frontline with ETC. Chromie's a rough pick here. I like Chromie though, especially once she gets Pierce at level 18 with the Q build. Chromie can drop her W so she can have increased damage on that earlier on if she goes that route, which is what I expect to see. Thrall coming out as the offlane for Turd Herder, and Nexus Cats going to be the offlaner and the extra front line with Blaze, so that's the main thing, Blaze. So Chromie has a rougher time because her skill shots are just one hit skill shots on the objective points, and so she won't have that area clear. But that can be cleared up with Sonya and Tassadar pretty easy, and Chromie has a lot of potential as an artillery mage to be really suppressing on Nexus Cats, who again, we look at our fantastic portrait synergy. It's just beautiful. It's gorgeous. Unfortunately, it looks like Dax managed to overthrow Born to Shine at the top of the list, so his portrait Zergling dominating Kerrigan, and Kerrigan's going to have to get that power back. Looks like we do have another pause as Turd Herder struggling to enter the map. So let's take this opportunity to put up fancy logos and also take my ugly mug down. Yes, Slag, I agree. ETC, huge presence as well with Stage Dive, and Stage Dive has basically the same potential in a as an engage as Mosh does, because Mosh easy to interrupt. Now Blaze not going to be able to interrupt it unless the timing is basically lucky. Sundering can do it. Rain of Vengeance can do it. Wailing or Mind Control can do it from Sylvanas, and Twilight Dream can do it. Twilight Dream probably the most. Twilight Dream and, well, really all of them. So Twilight Dream, Rain of Vengeance, and Sundering, probably the most reliable split reaction stuns, or interrupts rather, into the ETC mosh. But I mean, I like the Stage Dive. The Stage Dive has a huge slow. Sylvanas able to get out for the most part. Vala, move speed and tumble, able to get out. Blaze can dash out. But overall, I really think that Stage Dive would be the better choice here. So looking at these two teams, and while I have it, we got McGiblets on Malfurion. We have Mark Zombie on Blaze. Art the something on Vala. Turd Herder on the Thrall, and the Doctor on Sylvanas. Going into, we have Dax on Sonya, Born to Shine playing Stukov, Yotaru on Chromie, Seztrin on Tassadar, and ETC being played by D. Cherrywood. It's kind of, I feel like this is the opposite of last game. I feel like we have a really strong engage from Illidancing Queens, regardless of which ult that ETC goes. And he's going to be able to set up for Tassadar and Stukov, and once that's done, Chromie just going to be able to go off on the rest of the team. Sonya going to be doing work on the objective, also really hard to kill in the middle of a fight unless you can disrupt her. and all of the disrupts except for Blaze are going to be on ultimates. Otherwise, uh, they can root Sonya, but they can't stop her spinning. They can't stop her slamming, and so Sonya is going to be able to go absolutely wild this game as long as she avoids the ultimates or survives the ultimates and then goes wild again. All right, it is earlier in the thing. We can remake the yep. So we are going to remake the game. Let's get over here. We are going to remake the game. The picks have to be the same. The bands have to be the same. Everything is going to be the same. I don't think any talents were taken. Um, so However, everything else remains the same. I don't know how many times I can say remains the same. Probably as many times as I can say tonight in an intro, right? So we are waiting on the remake. Turd Herder needs to get a better hamster. So before the match started, we did get our map bans. We got Braxis Holdout and Dragonshire banned by Illidancing Queens, which is interesting because those are point control dominated maps. And as we kind of saw with Towers of Doom, it even though they picked Towers of Doom, it looks like they struggle with that tight point control. And that may be how they feel about it as well, because that's what those two maps are designed around. And so banning those out is probably indicative of such. Whereas Nexus Cats banned out Cursed Hollow and where did it go? And Tomb of the Spider Queen. Very different playstyles for those maps. Very different map designs. But very directly related to being pushed. So when you get the objective on Cursed Hollow, disabling forts, uh, it's hard to defend your structures when they're not activated. And with Tomb of the Spider Queen, again, you had those web weavers marching down in a very small map with very little jungle in between, keeping most of the fights in the lanes. And and Nexus Cats just didn't want to deal with that. All right, so we do have one noteworthy. Born to Shine is back on at the top of her team's roster in the lobby, so she should have Kerrigan back on top of the list when we get to the portrait phase, which is very important to note because reasons. We looks like we are getting everybody into the lobby. And we're getting everybody picked appropriately. Both teams have the same picks.
Glory to the Horde.
As a reminder, we have the Doctor on Sylvanas, Mark Zombie on Blaze. Not showing me his name. It's Turd Herder on Thrall, McGiblets on Malfurion, and Arthano on Vala. And on Illidancing Queens, we have Born to Shine on Stukov, Yotaru on Chromie, D Cherry Wood on ETC, Dax on Sonya, and Sestrin on Tassadar. Looking at one last person to ready up. So chat, while we're waiting, looking at the teams, not which team do you want to win, which team do you think has the better draft? Alright, we are in the Nexus. And as an observer, I cannot click on the sword, unfortunately. That is a bummer. Because if I were to be able to click on the sword, then I would win, and neither of the teams could. Because that's how that works, right? You click the sword and you win.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, looking for both teams to come mid. We do have the offlaners headed to the offlane because they're offlaners. Not going to talk about that. Y'all can see that. Don't want to give away the surprise. But ETC getting into the bush early, pushing back the Blaze. Blaze going to throw out the jet fuel, the oil slick, I should say. He might light it on fire. No, he's going to let it expire. He jet propulsions into the Tassadar. Not quite enough to stun him. Tassadar gets his Q off. Going to be ETC slowed on the oil slick. Slides in to catch the Vala. Vala gets out. ETC chasing. He's got 2 stacks of Dark Arrow from the Sylvanas, though. Means I need to check and see what she's building. It looks like it's going to be a W build. She's already got 11 stacks on that cursed dagger, shadow dagger. I play her a lot. You'd think I would know what it's called. Both teams rotate down to the bot lane. Blaze catching the ETC. He's going to get rooted, but Tassadar is going to go down to the Sylvanas first. Sylvanas banshing over to the ETC. Going to finish on the ETC. Malfurion getting the credit, though. Way to share the love. Nexus Cats, a big start for Nexus Cats. 2-0 on the kill count. And Nexus Cats is going to get that siege camp early, get that map pressure out. This is going to be first objective in the bottom lane. We don't know what type of Punisher it will be, but John Cena will come out of this bottom shrine first. Vala and Malfurion working on the siege camp, going to get through it pretty quick, then rejoin their team in the bot lane. Blaze by himself in a 1v3 against Chromie, Stukov, and ETC. They get through the siege camp pretty handily, not going to have to worry about that pushing in. Level 4 goes to Nexus Cats early on. They have about a half level lead over Illidancing Queens, who are trying to get their siege camp but get invaded by Nexus Cats. They're taking a lot of siege camp damage. Tassadar are going to go down from PvE mainly. Sylvanas getting credit for the kill. Illidancing Queens is going to take that camp. And it's going to push through the mid with the Sonya. Sonya getting some soak. Thrall and Sonya not in the same lane right now, just trying to get soak where they can. That's not the button I wanted. That's the button I wanted. 4v3 in the bottom lane as Tassadar is coming back out to the lanes. Looks like he's going to soak up mid a little bit while Sonya rotates up to the Thrall to try to push out. Meanwhile, ETC getting blocked by Roots into his gate. That's going to be enough to zone him out. He's going to slide through the Blaze to stay alive, but it's not going to be enough as one last auto attack from Vala finishes him off, and he goes sliding off to the next life. Tassadar coming in to try to get some harass out, but it's not going to deter much from Nexus Cats. Nexus Cats starting this shrine early to work on the objective, but heavy poke coming out from the Chromie on the objective. She is going for a standard Q build. So she's going to have some late game burst, but she needs to stack that quest up first. We do see Nexus Cats getting an early advantage in the shrine, but Chromie trying to bring in the pain. She's already at 19 of 40 hits with her Q, trying to get that stacked up, and if she misses, she'll hit Guardian, so it's a win-win for her. But Illidancing Queens not wanting to get a hard engage, but Sonya gets caught by a root in a jet propulsion by Blaze, going to stun her. Volley going to finish her off. Sonya not able to get the move speed to get out, and a talent tier advantage to the Nexus Cats as they finish up this objective. Looking for Sylvanas to push the objective real hard. She's coming down to meet the Punisher as we expected. It is a Mortar Punisher, which we knew from the colors of the altar, but forgot to address once it started spawning. John Cena going to walk in through the gates. He's going to jump over the fort onto Tassadar. Going to get stunned and slowed. Big wall goes out to stop the Nexus Cats from engaging on him. He's going to get out, but just barely by the skin of his mechanized plating, because that's how those words go together. The bottom fort does go down. Tassadar, or the Punisher, jumps onto the Chromie. Neither one of those are Tassadar. Tassadar is coming back in. Going to put the pain on the Punisher. Get it worn down before it can take out the keep gate. And that's a big stop for Illidancing Queens, but a big push for the Nexus Cats. Getting to the gate of the keep on the first Punisher is a huge use of that objective. Blaze trying to avoid the rains of sand from Chromie as he's trying to push in with that siege camp that his team just captured after the Punisher went down. Sonya getting the bruiser camp in the top lane, going to try to get some progress out of that. Looking to get some map pressure in favor of Illidancing Queens. Blaze getting caught in a big ETC Stukov combo. Getting knocked back by the ETC, getting away with about 200 health. ETC overcommitted, getting slowed and rude, taken down by the Thrall. Big damage coming out against him. Sylvanas leading the charge on the damage for his team, but Chromie even leading damage in the lobby. Not enough damage at the moment to really make a difference yet, but again, she's still not quite stacked out on her quest, and they are down in experience. Nexus Cats do have their heroics, and it looks like they are going for a hard ETC counter, as they did go Sundering, Twilight Dream, Rain of Vengeance, Bunker Drop, and Wailing Arrow. The 4 ultimates that I talked about earlier, the 4 ultimates getting picked, all with interrupt capability. Bunker Drop for safety on behalf of Blaze and the Nexus Cats. Level 8, it gives Chromie her heroic. She did pick up Slowing Sands for area control. She's going to try to get as much CC out as possible for her team. Bunker Drop comes out from Blaze. Bunker Drop enough to help his team get the fort, but Illidancing Queens does get their level 10s. We see Flailing Swipe, Slowing Sands, Wrath of the Berserker, and Archon coming out for Illidancing Queens. I do expect to see a stage dive from ETC, especially given that ETC's picking after the other team got their level 10s and went full interrupt. I would expect to see the surprise I'm a cow from D Cherrywood, but let's wait and find out. He may be looking for a snap decision pick to either go in and engage hard before the other team knows that he has Mosh Pit, or to see if he's away from the fight and needs to dive in with Stage Dive. The next objective is coming up into the top lane. Both teams are trying to rotate up. But Sonya all by herself in a 4v1. It's about to be a 5v4. Sylvanas goes to push the bot lane. She is going to make her way up, but she's not going to really be there in time for the start of this objective, which is going to be a Frozen Punisher. This is going to be a big Punisher for whichever team gets it. ETC bullying out. He does end up going with Mosh Pit. That's a Mosh Pit ETC. Gonna have to get a full 5-man engage, as every single hero can interrupt him. Well, if he doesn't get Blaze, Blaze will get stopped, so that's of no consequence. Bunker Drop coming out from Blaze. Lots of clear going out from everybody. There's a Flailing Swipe from Born to Shine. Get out of my objective. Blaze dashing in, gets time stopped by the Chromie. A big silence comes out from the Stukov. Sonya going off on the Malfurion with big Mosh from ETC, gets a 2-man on the Vala and the Thrall. He's going to get a full channel out. No kills during the Mosh, however. Blaze jumps in, field goals through the Tassadar and the Chromie. Big Q goes out. How much health does Blaze have? It didn't even display a number. It was so low. Blaze getting out with no health whatsoever. Feeling the heat, that's for sure. What a huge turnaround for Illidancing Queens. They're getting a lot of progress on this objective. They're 5 away. They're gonna get it. They're still down a talent here, but Sylvanas getting a fort out of the middle lane in that process, pushing in through the middle lane, gonna try to get some pressure on that keep. Let's see if she falls back to defend or keeps going. Sonya noticing, goes through the bruiser camp, is gonna head down, try to stop the Sylvanas, and the Punisher jumps on Thrall. Thrall is gonna get stunned by the Punisher, rooted by the frozenness of the Punisher. The frozenness, that's the way to talk about it, right? And just gonna fall to the Stukov as well. Vala, well, the Stukov effect, I don't know if Stukov got the killing blow. Vala taking out the ETC though, playing a little aggressive there into the pushing team. The Punisher disabling the tower and marching off forward. Vala wearing him down, gets jumped by John Cena. He doesn't like it. John Cena with the solo kill on Vala. Someone call Hulk Hogan. Because I can't think of Ed McMahon. Someone call Ed McMahon. We need to get John Cena back in the ring after something like that. There's a joke there, I promise. I just have to figure out what it is. Big play by John Cena, and Nexus Cats getting a fort down, so they have a lane advantage in the top lane, even though down a fort in the mid and bottom lane. EDC able to defend the bruiser camps. They finish it up with Blaze trying to come in and interrupt. Chromie looking like she's in bad shape. Gonna get out. Born to Shine with the Born to Swipe. Making sure Blaze isn't able to light that fire and no one's gonna finish off the Chromie. Nexus Cats regrouping in the middle lane. Looks like the front line working on the siege camp over here in mid. Turd Herder on the Thrall. Gonna try to interrupt. Full 5v2 into the siege camp. Yes, Illidancing Queens. It's time to Illidance away from that. Go ahead and get that siege camp and just take it out. Bruiser camp pushing in top. It's probably not going to make it to the keep. Nexus Cats moving in to. What did I say, Ed? Yeah, I've definitely been Vince. Vince McMahon. Chat blowing up my spot. I'm not there on my wrestling pop culture. Big push by Nexus Cats onto this last fort. The Doctor using black arrows to disable the fort. They're going to try to get as much damage out before it comes back up. It is shooting again, but they're going to take it out easy peasy. Sylvanas has arrows. 5-man push onto the mid fort by Illidancing Queens, trying to get progress. Vala dying to something. I guess it was that fort, but I went away because we knew it was going down, and I thought this middle fort was going to be the next interesting thing, but no, Vala dies to PvE. I'm looking. Sonya. Because Sonya's on this map, the enemies of hell grow stronger, and it was just too overpowering for Vala. I worked way too hard for that one, but I'm going to say it was worth it. Sylvanas chasing out the Sonya. Sonya coming back in. The Banshee wave, the Haunting wave went out from the Sylvanas. That is her escape. She tried to use it aggressively, probably because at level 7 she took Festering Wounds, trying to get some stacks on that Shadow Dagger. Sonya healing up off of the wave, trying to get that clear and get her wave pushing instead. Shrine is about to activate in the mid lane. Big Clairvoyance coming out from Tassadar, looking to see where everybody is. No one's in the bushes. Illidancing Queens can sort of move in safely. This is going to be an Arcane Punisher, as it is the third choice of what's left, and also the purple indicator with the orbs around it let us know. Arcane Punisher coming up next. They're up 17 on the objective as Nexus Cats making a play in the bot lane. They're just going to go for core. They take out the core. Lots of damage going out. Or they take out the keep. Lots of damage going out on the core. It's a 5-man push at level 18. That is bold with the core defenses. Big flailing swipe from Born to Shine trying to stop the back door. Vala taking some extra damage. That's a lot of damage going out. The core at 20%. Are they going to be able to save it? 10%. 8, 6, 1. That's the match. What a play by Nexus Cats, a bold back door. And that's yeah, that's that's what's gonna happen there. I didn't expect that. Did you expect that? I didn't expect that. So that is the end of this match. I am going to do an interview with a representative from Nexus Cats. And in about an hour, I will be casting Region Retro and Region Anomaly. My co-caster Stoic will be here with me this time. It's supposed to be a really good match. It's a great matchup. It's definitely a must watch. And what a play by Nexus Cats. The call on the back door, absolutely astounding. Just didn't even see it coming. A big 5-man push into the core. I thought it was going to be able to be defended by Illidancing Queens, but I guess they just didn't see it in time when their keep was going down. And they only sent 3 back, and it just wasn't quite enough to hold them off. A big play from Nexus Cats. Just wow. I do have Turd Herder and McGiblets, so the DC Bandit and also McGiblets in for the interview.
DC Bandit, is that my new nickname?
It is now. So wow. So congratulations on the sweep. I'm a little surprised. I thought that the team comps kind of swapped between games, and that Illidancing Queens was gonna be able to get big engages and take you out. And y'all got ultimates first or heroics first, and all 4 of you that took interrupt ultimates, and then ETC sat on his level 10 for a while before taking Mosh, and I really expected a stage dive to kind of turn the tables, but they had opportunities for big engages, and y'all just wrecked it. So congratulations there. I do want to know. I absolutely want to know first. Tell me about the backdoor call.
Boy, yeah. So this is a good question for our shot caller who's not here.
Who's your shot caller?
It's Mark Zombies, our shot caller. But
okay, he's the tank, right?
Yeah, exactly. So basically, what happened was, they had made a push on our fort mid right before that shrine, but we had defended it without that going down, and we had a really big wave going bottom, and we knew if we got the shrine mid, we could have got it. We would have fought over it. Maybe we lose it, maybe we win it, whatever. It doesn't really matter. But we actually just had a session over a scrim that we had on this map like yesterday. And our coach basically was just like, you got to press the advantage. And we said, heck it. Let's press the advantage bot and just make them respond. Worst case scenario, they get the Punisher and they get a fort, and then we defend it at keep, but we already got keep. And after we got the keep really, really fast, I think we all got in the bunker, although we probably shouldn't have. So we'll just forget that happened. But
I don't do damage. I needed that.
Yeah, you probably should have been in there because you needed more damage. But the rest of us, me being on Thrall, I should have been out. But anyways, after we got the keep down really fast, we just said we saw them in mid. We didn't see them doing anything. We're like, well, let's just try. And it wound up paying off. So, Gibbs, I don't know if you had a different perspective being in the 4-man.
I didn't really expect to actually even get core at that. I just was expecting to get a little bit of percentage off and then have to back out, but it took too long to back, it seemed.
Yeah, and I heard, Taco, you said that they only had 3 come back?
It looked like they only had 3 come back at first. They still left 2 on the objective. The other 2 might have come back, but clearly too late at that point.
Yeah.
And it looked like I think they expected what I expected, in that y'all would get the keep and then come to the objective. Because the way the new cores work, level 18 it's damn near impossible to push core.
Well, and it was certainly risky, and especially that core with the way that the circles are.
The
it's
Diablo
so hard.
map, the Diablo map cores are probably the hardest to push, except for maybe Sky Temple, with these changes, but they're very close, I would say. So that was a very gutsy call, and it worked out for you guys, which is really impressive. So I think everybody wants to know, Turd. Um,
Oh no.
who's your internet provider, and
Yeah.
and what species of hamster is it?
Yeah. Oh man. It's actually a New Guinea guinea pig.
Oh, okay.
So no, honestly. So what happened game one is every once in a while, and Gibbs can probably attest to this too. I have an issue just getting into games. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's my rig or if it's my internet.
I
It's
think it
usually
might
not a
just be
big
that
deal.
people don't like you and they don't want you to get into games.
I mean, Gibbs, can you confirm?
No, we like you. It's just they only got one dev working on this game that he can't help everybody's connected.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then when I joined game two, I didn't have any sound. And then I tried closing out, closing in, getting in and out. And then by the time like I got it to work, I couldn't actually rejoin the game. So yeah, and thank you to Illidancing Queens for their extreme patience, and to you too. I'm so sorry that happened. That was all at my expense, and
Yeah,
I'm
I didn't
really
have
sorry.
a co-caster to banter with during all of that, so I'm sitting here like,
I am so sorry.
No, I found something to talk about. Okay, so you need to do something. That's
Yeah, basically.
Is it just with HOTS, or do you
Just
have
with HOTS, honestly.
try?
I have
mean,
pretty solid
honestly, try a
internet. I have-
reinstall of HOTS. You can do a repair fix, and you could also just do a solid reinstall.
Yeah,
But
I would
anyway,
try that.
so y'all went ETC Malthiel as your front line, and Malthiel was able in the first game. Malthiel was able to show up and be present as that bruiser during the objectives, which Leoric seemed to have a hard time getting there. And y'all got control of the bot lane, which is how you win Towers of Doom. And Illidancing Queens could just never get out from that turret. Was that the game plan going in, or did y'all have a little bit different of a strat, and this is just kind of what worked, and y'all just started going with it?
Gibbs, why don't you comment on this one since you're in the
I don't
four man?
know.
I know you got to do it, man.
We had a plan, and certain heroes that we like to play got banned.
Okay, so what was
The
that
backup?
plan?
That was the backup plan. We usually only play the same comp on that map.
So I know. So I'm on the off lane, right? And on
Right,
that
and
map
I noticed,
specifically-
but before you keep going with that, just I
go
want
ahead.
you to incorporate it with what you're about to say. I noticed that y'all banned the Leoric going into this game, but it seemed like you were dominating him on the back and forth, and also when y'all ended up fighting. And so, in your offlane experience, I also want to know why Leoric became one of those bans. Because it seemed it had to be a target ban as opposed to a map ban, and so I thought that was a little interesting. So.
Yeah. So from my perspective, and it might just be, I'm a Div D player, so I'm not a heroic level player, a Div S level player. On that map as an offlaner, one of my
We're talking about
heroes
towers,
that I
right?
like. Well, on towers. Well, so yeah, let me start with towers.
Okay.
So with Malthael, I was able to kind of be sticky without being kind of in danger. So that's why I was just kind of bouncing around the Leo and making his life real hard, so he couldn't really interrupt my players, and that seemed to really do well. But as far as the ban, we knew we had a comp in mind, and Thrall. Actually, I was going to be picking Sonya, and that got picked right before. And I didn't really want to be playing Leo as a Sonya player, I didn't want to be playing against a Leo. But also, we had scouted Dax ahead of time, and there was another Gibbs. What was the ban that we were proposing? And then I proposed Leo instead.
On towers?
No, on Infernal Shrines.
I'm gonna be honest. I picked my pick and I took a phone call.
Yeah. This is live commentary here for you, Taco.
This
There
is me
you
every
go.
time. I pick my picks and I mute myself and I listen to music.
I forget what the choice was, but we were gonna ban a different offlane hero that I knew. Oh, we were gonna ban Malthael actually, and I knew that Dax didn't play Malthael, but he did play Leo, and that's another one that I like to play on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if they would have been Sonya, I probably would have left the Leo open and probably would have taken it. But they took the Sonya from me, so that's just how it works.
Okay,
but
so
otherwise,
so Thrall was kind of your backup into Sonya.
yeah, we were thinking of. I think we, and you kind of alluded to this. I think we overcommitted on the ETC interrupt. But also on this map, we knew that one of their strategies based on their comp was going to be to try and get us into chokes and
Yeah, with
kind of hack
ETC
us up.
Stukov and the Tassadar walls coming
Yeah,
out, like holy crap! And that's what I was talking about when they got those first 3 picks in the draft. And
yeah,
I thought, and one of the things that I was musing about is that when you pick first pick instead of the map pick, you have a particular first pick in mind. You have to,
yes,
otherwise it's effectively a waste. And so, because you don't get that opportunity to counter and take that uncounterable last pick.
yeah, right,
Um,
exactly.
And so, and I was thinking, and I may have said it beforehand. Viewers will probably say I didn't, and I just thought it, so I'm clearly a liar. That the first pick has to be ETC, or it's a wasted choice of first pick, and they could have picked the map instead.
Exactly.
And they came out with the ETC and the Stukov, both of which y'all used in the first game to shut them down, and then the Tassadar for the walls for the closes. And so that's part of why I thought they had a stronger comp. But y'all were able to avoid that the whole time. And how, in such a choky map, how did y'all avoid that?
That's a very good question. Honestly, Gibbs's roots is a big part of it. He has a lot of. I think Gibbs. Go ahead.
freeze the chokes with my roots.
Yeah,
Once they picked Chromie, I knew no matter what, we have to be aggressive and win before 20, or it's game over. Because
Right.
she's just gonna murder us on objective with the piercing.
and
And I was expecting Tass.
Yeah,
to go
Chromie's level 18 is strong. When I play her, I'm like, all right, let's get to level 18 so we can win.
yeah, basically. And
You said something about Tassadar.
I was expecting a black hole. I don't know if he won it.
No, he went
I
Archon.
Yeah,
Okay.
if he went
I'm
black
looking at
hole,
talents
it
right
would have
now.
been a whole nother game for us, because that would have probably messed us up in those chokes.
The black hole, yeah, being able to
Yeah.
reposition people.
That's what I was
Kind
afraid
of,
too,
kind of
that
for
was-
free, right?
Yeah.
absolutely. And,
Um,
and I just think that the thought process was, at least with the Thrall pick, was the Sunder is going to make them kind of put their strategy back onto them. You know, throw them into the chokes, basically make new chokes for them, but also interrupt the ETC in case, for whatever reason, all of the other Mosh interrupts go down.
Well, the only interrupts you had were ultimates, because if he got the Mosh
Yeah.
off, Blaze was not able to get in, because he would, I believe the jet propulsion stops and he starts dancing, right? Kind of like the Diablo Q.
I
Yeah.
think that's how it works.
Unless because Blaze went new habits,
You
if
could unstoppable do it.
he could unstoppable and do it, but that's a lot of buttons there.
Yeah, and then the Twilight Dream, or is it Twilight Struggle? What's it called?
Twilight Dream, Twilight Struggle.
I can only interrupt it at 20 whenever I teleport in.
It's big enough if you're on the edge.
Yeah.
Also, as soon as those bongos go, if you do it, your channel's faster.
Interesting. Well, there you go. Now we know.
I got a buddy that plays a lot of ETC.
Yeah.
So y'all had your interrupts were tight, or were limited. But he went with Mosh anyway, and y'all were just able to avoid it all. It's fantastic play. I have a question from chat from Linehouse wants to know: does McGiblets play any good supports or just Malfurion? Was the Stukov a one-off?
No. I play off lane Ana also Linehouse. Don't worry.
Who in Ana?
Off lane Ana.
Offline. Oh, so that's
Taco, just to let you know-
Linehouse. That's a no.
I was on Linehouse's team last season as his
Yeah,
goal.
they're
He
friends.
knows what I play.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I figured it
named
was something
Malfurion.
like that. So you're coming out of a sweep, so it's easy to see what is your team doing really well, especially in this match. What did y'all do really well? That's something that is I mean, I just repeat the question over and over.
Well, I'll do one, and then Gibbs, you could do one too. I think one thing we're doing really, really, really well is I think we're all kind of firing on the same cylinders, especially at match time. You know, we like to laugh, we like to giggle, we share memes, we make memes, but when it comes to match time, we're all really focused. And I think we have a goal, like we have a collective goal in mind of what we'd like to accomplish, you know, in each match / in this season. And I think we're pretty laser focused on doing that. Gibbs, what about you?
Yeah, during right before a match, I just stop doing whatever I'm doing for 30 minutes and just start to focus on game, do a warm up, listen to good music, and clear my head.
Okay, so you kind of get yourselves focused.
Getting
Uh,
ourselves focused, getting ourselves in the game, that kind of thing.
Our tank yells at us if we make jokes during drafts, so we don't make jokes anymore.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
So was that kind of from both y'all, or Big Giblets G has something else to add as something y'all did really well?
I think that's it.
I think the other thing is our drafts have seemingly improved from last season. I think we've really given our drafter a lot of latitude to make a lot of decisions that he needs to make to get the tools he needs to get the winning comps. And him and our shot caller are just on a different wavelength this season where things are really just clicking.
Okay, well, and that's good, especially yeah, when you have a solid shot caller,
Yeah.
and it and a team that can listen to shot calls, because that's the other thing. You can call the best shots in the world, but a good decision without the team is the worst decision you can make. Whereas a bad decision together, you can at least do something with it. And so being able to listen to good shot calls is absolutely huge, and a team that can work together is the way to go. So how long have y'all been playing in NGS as a team, or at least some of y'all together, anything like that?
So our Arthanau and Mark have been playing together since season 5. I joined the team in season 6, and then Doctor joined season 8, and then Gibbs is brand new season 9. So
I played season 5 on a C team, and then I played
yeah,
last season.
yeah,
As a
yeah,
healer
yeah.
for the first time. They made
Okay.
me heal.
So me, Mark, and Arthanau have been playing together for 3 seasons together now. So we have really good synergy, and Doctor and Mark have really good synergy, and Gibbs is just a phenomenal level player. So that really helps to add to the synergy.
Okay.
Surprisingly, me and Mark are synergized. I mean, yeah, we're just on point with each other constantly. I don't even have to say anything. He just does things that throw my abilities out, and they're just dead or rooted.
Good. So y'all have a pretty solid experience with the NGS community then. Where
Absolutely.
do you think you sit within your division?
Well, right now the standings are saying we're number 1.
Do
So
you feel like that is a deserved standing?
um,
And I'm
man,
not
do I
trying
be
to,
do I be cocky and say yes? Or?
I'm not trying to necessarily imply otherwise. Do you feel like that's an accurate standing?
So I'll say what I said on Nexus Edge earlier today. I think the Nexus Cats are in the top half of the teams that are going to make playoffs this season. So I think we're a 1 through 4 type team.
Okay.
And I think if we end the season in any one of those slots, I think we'll be pretty happy with ourselves. Especially, we had a disappointing season last season. We got 8th and then dropped immediately to the number 1 seed. So, I think we have a slightly better roster. I think we have just better intangibles right now. So I think we're really looking forward to it.
So, you think you deserve to be at least towards the top.
Yeah.
You're not necessarily sure whether you should be number 1. So what?
Because who's going to shot call? Who's going to front run that hard this early, right? We have 2 games played.
Right, and that's fair, but and there's something to be said for if you have low I say no expectations, no disappointment. If you have low expectations, it's also easy to supersede those, or to something. It's easy to blow them out of the water and have a at least relatively much more successful season compared to your expectations. So that there's also something to be said for that. And there's always room for improvement. So, what team would you say that you're the most concerned with out of your division?
Zul'jin.
Yeah, I think Zul'jin Distillery is going to be a really tough team this season. Church of Murky is another tough team. I'm just looking at the list.
I'm trying to see if I'm casting any of them this week.
Maybe.
Nah, I'm not.
And Frankfurters always give us a run for our money. I think they're not someone that we should discount, but yeah, I would say Zul'jin Distillery or Church of Murky could be a couple teams ahead of us.
Okay. Well, so are those the teams that you're scouting more than as well?
Yeah, and we've been scrimming with them too, because we have history with both of them. We've been playing. I mean, I think we've been playing Church of Murky since season 5. Honestly,
Yeah.
in Zul'jin Distillery, we were in their invitational for a couple seasons. So, yeah.
All right, give me just 1 second, maybe 5 literal seconds, because I have a crying dog.
No problem.
Sorry, my wife said she was crying outside the game room door. Come here, baby. So everybody gets to meet the true Dark Lady Sylvanas.
There you go.
And so, do you have? I'm ready for shout-outs. Do you have shout-outs, either of you, that you need to give?
Gibbs, you got to lead it, man. Do it. Take strong shout outs. We have an audience.
I gotta give shout outs to the beatbox. All of them besides Linehouse. He doesn't deserve it.
That's a good
All
one.
of the beatbox except for Linehouse. Linehouse, that's need to show some respect for your former teammate. It looks like, otherwise you don't get them shout-outs. But I like how he's the only team member whose name you actually said.
Yeah. It's right. And then yeah, I guess shout out to our family members, my wife included, who lets me take part in this fun activity. And then shout out, I guess, to my team, I guess.
Of course to the team.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. And thank you to you for everything you do and for taking the time on this Taco Tuesday, your namesake.
Cinco de Taco, even.
Yeah. To cast little ol' us. So
I love
thank you
it.
very
Yeah,
much.
I am really enjoying doing this, and I'm super excited that Linehouse says maybe you should stop dyeing his mouth into towers. I'm super excited to do it. It's something that I've been wanting to do for several years now, and I finally found this opportunity to. And in fact, speaking of taking time out on Taco Tuesday, Cinco de Taco, to do it, you guys also, our audience, I am doing a doubleheader tonight. In about 30 minutes, we have Region Retro versus Region Anomaly. It's supposed to be a must-watch according to Smiley. It's on his must-watch list. So definitely come back here in about 30 minutes. I'm going to send y'all over for a little bit to someone. I don't know who yet. But Turd Herder McGiblets, thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Now, I will say, and I'm not saying that I had a preference as to who won, but Illidancing Queens is my favorite team name in the entire in the entire community right now. But I'm a big
really
I'm a big Illidan fan, so
Absolutely.
but I don't I did like your portrait synergy. I thought that was really good. I was commenting on that a lot.
Oh yeah, we've upped our synergy. We have mount synergy, spray synergy, and portrait synergy. So
there you go.
I spent a lot of Doritos to become part of this team.
Yeah, all we need is an Abathur player, and then we'll have like hero synergy.
Did you do y'all also do skinergy? Do you match your skins and your mounts?
You know, it's something we
with
should.
certain heroes. It really is.
Yeah.
Well,
but we should try.
If
we
you
should
at
have
least
this
at least get your
practice.
skins and your mounts kind of together, at least within your hero, so that it looks nice, then that's cool. And then if y'all do like chroma themes and whatever, you know.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Oh well, it's a pleasure. Like I said, I love doing it. I'm going to send. I'm gonna send everybody over to Duke Zach Spectrum, I believe, is how he's referred to. He is getting ready to start Cool Cats and Kittens versus Bloodbath and Beyond. That's going to start in about 4 minutes. It's the only NGS game that I see up on my thing, but I'm sure I'm wrong. But yeah, definitely come back here in about half an hour. We're going to have a really great match. Region Retro versus Region Anomaly, and I will have my co-caster, so I'm not just out here floundering by myself. Turd, thank you for the follow as well.
Absolutely. All right. I will see you later.
Absolutely, man. Celebrate with your team. Don't celebrate too hard. Also, Twitch, thank you so much for being here and watching. Please definitely come by and where'd my button go? Definitely come by and fill out the review, the caster review form that's been popping around in the chat channel, and I will see you guys next time.